Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm having a little late start, but let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. Let's see what we could find for today. Hope you guys slept good. I slept pretty good. All right, so 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. This is an inside joke for me. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 13. All right, the most excellent way is the title of today's devotion. The most excellent way. I feel like this is in my face. It's been a while. I got my iPad back. So, all right. It begins that the Bible teaches us that walking in love is the most excellent way to live. God is love, and when we walk in love, we are walking and living in Him. Love is more than a word we use when we speak to other people. It is seen in our actions, especially in how we treat other people. Jesus gave us one new command, which is for us to love one another just as He loves us. As we show that love, others will know that we are His disciples. God's love for us required Him to sacrifice His only Son. And if we truly want to love people, there will be times when we will also need to sacrifice for them. Yeah, love is definitely not just a word. Love is an action. It's words as well, but it's definitely a lot of action. And it's sometimes it takes a lot of sacrificing ourselves to love on other people. If you like food, sometimes you might have to share the food that you like. If you like peace, where, silent time, sometimes we might have to sacrifice some silence to really engage and love on someone else. It's hard to love, man. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't even, sometimes I think about it in reaping benefits. Like, if I love you, what I'm going to get back, it's like tit for tat. And that's not really love. So, it's sacrifice. It's the willing to give up a little bit, to make a connection. I believe. And I think that's where the devotion is going. And it always, whenever whenever there's like some connection people make to love in the Bible, it's always like, and God gave His Son. It's like, I don't know if I ever would love that much. Like, if I had a child, right? Would you give up your child to love on other people? Like, think about that. Like, what? You know what I mean? So for me, that kind of love is very hard, but there's other things that I know I would do, and that is peace. I'll give up food, I'll give up money, I'll give up my time. Um, sometimes not even reacting, to people's mess. You know, it's hard, but it's a way to show love. And I'll give an example on that last piece. Like, there'll be like, people will say mean things to me because they know my temperament. I'm not really gonna go crazy all the time when people do bad things to me. But sometimes those things hurt, right? Sometimes people say or do things that's like hurtful. And in loving ways, we could really attack. We could really go in on other people if we wanted to, right? But if you want to keep a loving spirit, sometimes just explaining yourself as best as possible, or um trying your best not to like over exert yourself, is probably the most loving thing you could do. They're having a moment right now, and it's best not to go into their moment with negativity, but show them more love. Um, there's a different part of the Bible that says if somebody slaps you on the face on the left side, turn your cheek and let them slap you on the right. Very hard. Not doing that. But I mean, I just feel like this love thing is it's complicated. And I think you got to do the best you can to be as positive in connecting with other people. Lovingly, you know, despite the seconds of or minutes of lack, right? Because you're giving them, you're gonna lack time, you're gonna lack resource because you're loving on them. Um, for a split second, it's okay. You're doing God's will. I would assume, you know, based on my understanding. So it continues according to what is this? According to 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, love is not self-seeking. It is patient, kind, humble, and not envious. You know, here's the inside joke. So I dated this girl a few years ago, and we met at a wedding. And happens to be a good friend of mine. And he I don't know if he was saying it. I know oh no. The bride's mom was saying the 1 Corinthians 13, the one that talks about what love is. And I remember like she was so into this like 1 Corinthians. She was saying it like very like so poetically, right? And I was like, oh shoot, she going in on this love thing, like she's really all about it. She went through the verse, the scripture, uh, and I was like, okay. I was more like entertained by how she did it than what she was saying. And even though I was more concerned with the entertainment of how poetically she was giving the scriptures, I was really like, how can I love like that? It's not self-seeking. Love is patient, kind, humble, not envious. I mean, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to love someone in thought and action. Is very difficult. Like I said, there are people who, like, even if you're in the loving spirit, people come in with non-love, right? They speak to you any kind of way. They do to you. They lie on you. They make you feel small. They try to come at you in ways that is just so horrific, and then expect for you to kind of come back with in a loving way. I think is difficult, but God is watching all of it. God is watching how we navigate. God is watching our connections. And you want to do your best, knowing that your Father is looking at you and taking notes, recording to do right by other people, even when they don't do right by you. And some people might take it as like you're weak, you're you're a pushover, you're a mat, you're a doormat. But let me tell you, you wait. You wait and see. Because God is taking note of all of our stuff, right? And I believe that you do right, you love on other people. You know, if you need to get it out, go talk to somebody else. Don't go making other people feel small. Um, I'm telling you, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. I've seen it in my life because I've not always been so loving, and I'm still working on that. So I would definitely just, you know, try your best to engage with the verse, even though it's hard. It's hard. This stuff is hard. Um, Not self-seeking. Oh my goodness. I mean, we live in a society that's self-seeking. Patient. I mean, we live in a society that wants it now. We don't have a lot of patience like that, man. Kind. I mean, I meet some kind people, you know. Humble, not envious, like not want like I mean, social media is it creates envy. It's like, look at me, look at you. I got better, I got more. It's like it creates the envy. You know, it's hard to get to this, especially in our societies. But when you love on people, God will take no. It does not dishonor others. Love is not easily angered. Love keeps no record of wrongs. Yeah, I keep record of wrongs. See, this is where I'm telling you, it's hard to love in the 1 Corinthians 13 version. This is hard to do. And doesn't delight in evil. It rejoices with the truth. It always believes the best of everyone, and it never fails. If we focus on loving God and loving other people, we will live the life He desires for us to live. No matter what so-called good works we may do, if we don't have love, we simply make a lot of noise that amount to nothing. I'm gonna say I agree with most of this, right? I agree with most of this devotion, but it's hard to love the 1 Corinthians 13 kind of way. It's hard. It's so hard, man. But you gotta force yourself to do it. Life is more pleasing. People at some point may recognize it or not, but do things because God is taking note. Do things because God is taking note. People's reaction is fickle, right? Like, they react one way this way today, they'll react another way the next day. So, like, we are all fickle. God is consistent. He's the same God from before. He's the same God now. So, my goal in my actions, my reactions, and my thoughts, I try to change my thoughts, like, as much as possible to be more loving, more positive. Yeah, I joke sometimes, you know, and some people say there's a lot of truth in jokes and stuff like that. But I gotta, you know, be careful of that because people sometimes take my jokes seriously. Gotta be careful, and I understand that. But we got to fight to love godly. We need that 1 Corinthians. We need that 1 Corinthians. I need that 1 Corinthians. Because I could tell you, I don't got a lot of this checked off. Keeping no record of wrongs. Man, I used to keep a list of people that did me wrong. And then I would put in parentheses exactly what they did. And every time I see it, I'm like, I try not to do that stuff anymore, man. I pray for people, though. I have a prayer list. You know? Yeah. So this one I could agree with. This one is a big deal. Prayer of the day. Father, I want to Father, I want to walk in the kind of love you showed to me, but I need your help. Teach me what love is and how to show it to other people. In Jesus' name, amen. Guys, I'm going to keep y'all with that. Love on some people, on all people, as much as you can that you interact with. And God will bless you. He's taking notes. All right? Take care, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.